cloudy, somewhat kind of gloomy looking day right now here in Robeson County, North Carolina. I am off to go get a chest x-ray as a follow-up to my stress test I took last week, which, by the way, turned out fine, so nobody freak out, nobody worry. Had a couple episodes over the summer where the heat got to me. Went and got my heart checked out to be on the safe side. So today's the follow-up. I got to take a picture of my resting heart. That's what they call it. Apologize for the lights, but you know, it's cloudy out here and the sun ain't quite come up over the horizon yet. So bear with me if all you're getting right now is mostly audio. But as we get closer to where I've got to go, hopefully the daytime illumination will improve. But anyway, that's for you, Brother Kyle. I hope everybody is doing well today. It is a Thursday. One more day till Friday, and then the weekend. So, we'll get this done, come back. I got 2 students I've got to teach today the basic handgun course for my business, J&L Shooting Academy. I got to get some more videos put out on that channel here soon. Might try to do one tomorrow when I get home from work. But anyway, folks, one thing I want to talk about, yesterday I hit on it about, I've talked about it in a couple of videos as of late. This fentanyl crisis, this stuff coming across the southern border that's being brought in from China and India, and from the Middle East, or not in the Middle East, but Far East. Mostly China, though. I was just reading an online article here. Woman smoking fentanyl in San Francisco and overdoses in her car. And it's only getting worse. And the sad part about it is how readily a person's skin can absorb it just on contact. There's been more than one reported incident where people have been hospitalized and even died from just casual skin contact with just residue. Now let's add to the equation here. Let's add to this equation. I guess you don't know what turn signals are, do you? Let's go with this equation here for a second. Let's add this in. Mama's hooked on fentanyl, or daddy's hooked on fentanyl, or in some cases both mommy and daddy are hooked on fentanyl. They go drop the kiddies off at school and they go rob a house or whatever they do to make money so they can buy their fix and barely support their family. But they leave a residual in the car, and little ones get in there and get to playing. Next thing you know, they look back, little ones out cold. Get home, take the little one out of the car, come out and find the little one's dead. That's the worst part about it. These kids making contact with it, they don't stand a chance. And it's all over the street. All over the street. And then there's still heroin coming into the country for those that prefer the natural stuff, as they say. Yet People want to legalize marijuana all over the nation. Let's just go ahead and legalize marijuana. We can tax it. I used to think that way. Not anymore. Now, what you do in the business of your home, in your home, your own business. It's like equipping these police officers with Narcan. I get the police are protect and serve. And a lot of times they're going to be the first one on the spot before actual paramedics can get there to the scene. But I don't think that the police ought to be mandated to provide that. That should be up to the individual cop. They're under enough pressure as it is when they make arrests or show up on the scene to something. Now you're going to throw this on top of them? To me, it's too much liability for a department. Because what if Narcan doesn't save a person? What do you do with repeat callers? That's the other thing. That money that departments have to spend on equipping their police officers with Narcan, and then you get the habitual caller, hey, little Johnny's overdosed again, get out here to Narcan. That goes back to my statement in earlier videos that when seconds matter, police are minutes to hours away. And then people want to complain when the police do show up and it's too late. All of a sudden, somehow it's the police's fault. Or better yet, somehow it's the paramedics' fault because they couldn't revive their friend who just took too much of whatever they were taking. How about your friend was just a dumbass? Especially if they'd overdosed before. But you want to blame somebody else. I call horse shit on that. Not safe for work, not safe for children. You've been forewarned. Well, it's a bunch of horse mess. I don't have a solution on how to clean up the street. Other than to get in the street and start sweeping all the hood rats, thugs, drug dealers, pimps, whores, prostitutes, and push them all into the river and push them out to sea. Oh, soldier, that's so mean and cruel. Well, yeah, it is. It really is. I'll admit it. It's not the best solution, now is it? No, it's not. But when I pick up and read the news, this person here has been shot over a drug deal, this person over here is overdosed, this person in here is crying because, the police officer didn't have Narcan when they showed up, or the paramedic, didn't get to him in time. You find out the person that OD'd has been a habitual drug user for umpteen years and refused to go to rehab, had some mental issues, refused to go get help. But now all of a sudden, the families want to hold the government responsible for their failure. I'm going to call it the way it is, their failure to act. Oh, what the heck did you say that? The old soldier's been there, done that. I might not have handled my own family situation the best in the world, but I darn sure didn't blame nobody else. And I told my daughter when I kicked her out of my house, it breaks my heart to do it, but I'm tired of you coming in strung out, hungover, higher than a kite, lying, stealing. You need to go somewhere. It ain't gonna be here. And then trying to console my wife, who was devastated and heartbroken at the time. Now I thank God above that my daughter come to her senses and got help. And when she did, she called and wanted to come back home. I said, what are you strung out on? That's first. Okay. All right, you come home, but guess what? You're making all the phone calls. And of course, one lady come out to get her into the detox facility. You know, she didn't seem to like me because of my attitude. And I told her, she brought this on herself. She's gonna get herself out of it. Now, if she's willing to do that, then we'll help her. And she was acting like I should have, done all kinds of stuff. Look, lady, I've got to get up and go to work in the morning, do stuff. I can't be staying up 2 or 3 in the morning to see when she's going to come home or who she's been out with. Now, you get her down there in that detox facility, and we'll go from there. She did, and my daughter got in and got to a place, it's kind of like a halfway house. Until they kicked her out when she got sick. That was when the Chinese bioweapon was kicking off, and they didn't know how to handle it. So their idea was that, well, we're gonna have to put her out until she gets better. Where the hell is she supposed to go? Y'all took her in. Y'all can't find a place for her to stay for 2 weeks. Well, yeah, that's what I thought. So, even some of the halfway houses don't have all the best opportunities in the world. And yeah, that's the other thing. People that do go to rehab and detox, sometimes they do relapse. Sometimes they relapse more than once. I get that. But I'm talking about the people out there that just absolutely refuse because they just want to live a life on high. So yeah. But it pisses me off to no end when I read about a child that had died because mommy or daddy or brother or sister or aunt or uncle left their stuff out and the kids got a hold of it, got it into their skin, and it kills them. Or worse yet, they're in the car when it's being dealt and a drug deal goes bad and somebody gets shot and killed. Their child gets killed as an innocent bystander in the whole process. So yeah. And I've posted this link before. I'm gonna post it in today's video. And it's not a. I was never a big fan of Motley Crue. Never have been. Never will be. But their bass player Nikki Sixx has a band called 6 a.m. or did. They did a song, Maybe It's Time, and it's got a combination of several artists, mostly hard rock, heavy metal, but Brantley Gilbert, country artist, is on it, on this song. Joe Elliott from Def Leppard, from my generation of hard rockers. I can't remember his name, but the guy that fronts or did front Five Finger Death Punch, something like that, and the guy that lead singer for one band that wears a mask, Slipknot, something like that. Got him in there. Tommy Vext, and then but there's a link in it. I don't know if it's still active. I'll have to check that out. I'm gonna post it anyway. And share it with somebody you know that's struggling from addiction. Try to get them some help. If they're willing to get some help, get them some help. I'm also kind of putting this out there that if you got somebody in your family that's addicted and doesn't want to get any help, ain't nothing in the darn world you can do to help them until they're ready to help themselves. And it's going to sound harsh, it's going to sound cold. Stop wasting your time, money, and resources. They're not willing to help themselves. And folks, I wholeheartedly know what I'm saying is cold. It's not meant to be. I can promise you that it is not meant to be. But that's the other thing I see out here with people, and and I love him dearly. He's a good friend of mine. But he's got 2 sons that are absolutely worthless. And I hate to say that about any individual or human being. But his two boys are absolutely worthless. They have darn near bankrupted him and his wife. The oldest is strung out, has been strung out multiple times. Nothing's ever his fault. It's always somebody else's responsibility. He's milking off his mommy and daddy. He gets upset when, they don't have what he wants to eat in the house, or something's not working out inside in a little shack they've made for him to stay in. So he takes it upon himself to rewire everything and mess up my buddy's setup. And then come to find out the other brother's supplying him because he's a narc. It's the only reason he's not in jail, because he's supplying information to the sheriff in the county that they live in. And sadly, my friend and his wife keep enabling their oldest by keep bringing him in and keep saying, well, now once you get a job, you get this vehicle fixed up and get out of here. And I'm afraid one day their son's going to snap and kill both of them. So yeah, I know how cold-hearted what I'm saying sounds. But sometimes you just got to do it. And then pray and hope for better days. And there's no special reason I'm putting this message out today, to be honest with you. It's just something that kind of hit me this morning. I said, let me share this. Let me get this off my chest. Let me put this out there. And oh, by the way, that goes the same for people addicted to alcohol. Had a man come to when we were attending church, this one place. He'd show up and he'd get sober for about a week and then be right back at it. And then you'd tell him, let's take you to Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't want to go listen to what they got to say. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I work, I make my own money. Yep, you sure do. You spend it all as soon as you get it, buy booze. You can't afford your medication you're supposed to be on. And you cry when nobody will buy it for you. But yet you got money for alcohol. Or you'll go out and do God only knows what to get it. So yeah, that includes alcohol. I guess the worst thing that gets me is when I see a pregnant mother letting addiction overcome them. And God only knows what they're doing to that baby. Oh boy. I just love how bicyclists think they own the darn road. I'm sorry. I ain't got nothing against anybody that bicycles, but when they're taking up both lanes of the road, you need to take that crap somewhere else. State of North Carolina, they're supposed to have equal access to the road as someone in a motor vehicle, but yet they're not required to have a license or an insurance to ride a bicycle on common roads. Go figure. But yeah. So anyway, folks, till I get another one out, God bless, take care, stay safe. From the neighborhood old soul.